What screams I'm a man-child but nobody realize it? Never apologizing. Never being wrong. That would be my father. Edit, we have done a lot of things wrong with you, but you have to just accept it because we're your parents. My mother said this to me while my father just sat and glared at me without saying a word. No. I ran to a friend's house in the middle of the night 3 weeks ago without telling you because I don't accept it. Stayed with a friend for a while longer after that. Our Father. I know this started as a joke, but as someone who was raised with an asshole dad in an extremely religious home, hearing the song Oh, Father by Madonna was the first time I was able to process how F it all was. They have extremely strict morals and principles. When citing them will get them out of doing something. They will drop all morals and principles when ignoring them will get them out of doing something. I had a roommate who refused to share food, like at a meal, which he referred to as pick eating. He would not give you a bite of his dish, or allow you to eat one of his fries, as he viewed it as unsanitary. However, if you made a pot of chili, you could spit in the pot and he'd still eat half of it. This actually contributed to the end of our association. Late one night, we stopped at a fast food joint, and I got a hamburger. Realizing that I'd forgotten the napkins, I left the table to get some. I returned to find 2 large bites taken out of my burger. I just wanted to know what it tasted like, he explained. Then give me 2 bites of your burger, I demanded. I don't like it when people pick eat, he suggested. In one of my least proud moments, I slapped him hard across the face, causing him to get tangled in the awkward Hardee's seats that are mounted to the floor. I left him at Hardee's, and we parted ways the following week. It was a culmination of similar pain-in-the-ass events, but to this day it chaps my ass. My bio mother, want a split A menu item meant to be part of a meal for one person? Me, I'm really hungry, I'll probably want a whole one. My bio mother, oh, well then I'll just have a few bites of yours. Me, well then can we also get side? My bio mother, no, I'm not that hungry. I'll just have a little bit of your menu item. My bio mother eats more than half of my food, leaving me maybe 1/3 of a sandwich as a meal. This one infuriates me. I will often buy a food item, especially a multi-serving item like a bag of chips, and my wife, who is one of the easiest people in the world to live with, will eat the entire product before I've had any. To combat this, on occasions like the one you describe, or when I'm buying something that I really want to eat, I'll look her dead in the face and say, I'm not sharing this with you. Other people look at me like I'm the world's biggest asshole when I do this, but she knows what I'm talking about. Just this weekend, I ordered a pizza for us to share, and 2 of her friends showed up unexpectedly. Before I had even realized that the pizza had arrived, they'd eaten all of it. She was very apologetic, but I was very hungry. That's still so rude, lol. You can apologize a million times, but if the behavior doesn't change, then it doesn't mean S. Not learning how to perform basic domestic tasks like laundry, dishes, etc. If they make an active decision not to learn those things, it just tells me they want a mommy and not a partner. Do these guys just keep a string of girlfriend mommies? How do you function beyond your late teens without being able to take care of basic housekeeping? I know one of these guys, and he went directly from his mom doing it to married. It was not until somewhat later that his wife realized that his parents had been driving the 2-3 hours each way from their home once a week so that his mom could fill his fridge and clean the house while his dad mowed the lawn, etc. Frankly, I give the parents some of the blame for that level of enablement. Upon divorce, the parents went back to doing all of this and more. They talk at people without listening or sense of empathy and get quick to anger when called out. At same time, they're usually the type of person who just tells it like it is or is brutally honest. Bonus points if they claim to be a logical thinker while being the most emotional person in the room. Those logical thinkers get so emotional when everybody else doesn't have the same conclusion they do. I ran into one of these people. They insisted that their actions were completely rationally based and never driven by emotions, unlike the unthinking masses. All while simultaneously engaging in name-calling against me for calling him out the contradiction in their post. Emotions first. Everyone. Logic evolved much later and is mostly used to justify our emotions. We all do it to some extent or another. It takes real self-awareness to actually change your position, despite emotion, due to logic and rational thought. It also aggravates me because it's a fundamental misunderstanding of logic. Logic is about drawing conclusions through methodologically rigorous analysis of evidence. It's entirely possible, though certainly not always easy, to remain objective even when experiencing strong emotion. It's also entirely possible and actually very easy to be an irrational idiot despite being completely calm. I am a very logically driven and not emotionally driven person. It is not something to boast about and has cost me a lot due to my inability to understand others' emotions, but I am healing. Every so often a big thread comes up from a guy 17 to 25 moving into his first place on his own and looking to start bringing lady friends home, asking for suggestions of what to put in the apartment to make it welcoming to women. This is not man-childish, it's fine and good. There was one I can recall where either the OP or probably just some really invested commenter was angry at most of the suggestions, in particular one suggesting multiple blankets, an extra pillow, and an extra towel in the event a woman slept over. But that's just catering to her? Why should a guy have things in his apartment just to cater to her? While it's rarely expressed so directly, it's an attitude I see in bitter, lonely man-children a lot. Why should I do anything for you if it's not something I want? Doesn't matter if the action is as mundane as own 2 towels or if they want something from the person they're catering to. Women should just sleep with them but not expect comfort or entertaining dates. Employers should just give them jobs and fat paychecks, they shouldn't need things like qualifications or hard work. Friends should just loan them money and entertain them on a dime, but never ask them for anything. When I was in my 20s, I dated a man who lived with a male roommate and they had a courtesy basket of basic period supplies in their bathroom. We're now married and have 2 kids together. The courtesy basket wasn't why we got married, but I was actually endeared to him because of how thoughtful of others he and his roommate were. Recognizing that you have female friends over and sometimes they might need a pad as just a general courtesy is a thing most men would never even consider. Not taking out your garbage for weeks on end when you live in an apartment building, even when the weather gets really hot and your trash stinks so badly that simply walking into the building is like being hit in the face with a decomposing corpse. Yes, man-child and number 33, I'm talking to you. You should ask for a wellness check, he could be dead or trying to hide a body. This happened at the last apartment complex I lived in. For over a week straight I had to walk by one apartment to check the mail and it reeked to no end, but I didn't think anything of it, thought it was just gross people. Come home one day and there were more cops than I've ever seen at once in my life. Turns out the couple that lived in that apartment were both dead, murder-suicide, and that week of bad smells was bodies rotting in record-high summer temperatures. Well, at least you know what that smells like for next time. Hopefully there is no next time. Putting other men down for liking books or video games while they obsess over sports, Fast and the Furious, and cars. Everyone has a hobby and we all have things we enjoy. Liking video games or books doesn't make you any less of a man. Acting like watching sports makes you manly always seems like projection to me. How is a guy sitting on his fat ass watching football games all weekend any better than another guy sitting on his ass reading books or playing video games all weekend? It's the same damn thing. Yeah, how is memorizing football stats and wearing the memorabilia not considered nerdy? I don't get it. Put any sports stadium crowd next to any Comic-Con crowd and you'll find just as many out-of-shape people and just as many people in costumes and makeup. Because it's non-fiction. Dating back to gladiatorial days, it's more mainstream because it's real people pushing themselves beyond what normal people are capable of, and spectators can marvel at the potential of the human body. Whereas comic and anime conventions are fictional. It's sad to say it's okay to idolize a human doing exceptional things, but it's seen as childish to idolize superheroes or video game characters because technically they aren't real. Whatever happened to the whimsy of childhood? It's like society pushes us to let go of it as we age. Huge Monster Energy logos in his back window. I am always amazed when I see stuff like that because I simply can't imagine who this person is. I used to work in construction and knew plenty of white trashy redneck dudes. Never met one that would have had a monster sticker on their truck. I worked in sales, which was populated with a bunch of sketchy cokehead dudes. No monster stickers. Used to hang out with a few hardcore gamers, like full-on energy drinks, never water, Mountain Dew loving, haven't changed their shirt in 3 days gamer brothers. None of them would have done that. And yet I see these stickers all the time. Does anybody know who these Monster Energy drink sticker people are? If you know one, please explain this character to me because I don't think I have ever met one. I genuinely don't know who these people are. Edit, so I am getting gym brothers, extreme sports people, and people that work around activities sponsored by Monster, and I suppose that makes sense since I don't think I've ever been very close to that stuff. Please like and subscribe for more daily content.